Should I feel bad about filing bankruptcy is another question we get a lot. There's a real moral element and component to the decision-making process. And what I always tell people is if you can pay your debts, pay them. You should pay them if you can. If you can't, if you just don't have the money and you're not going to have the money, you just have to acknowledge reality. Bankruptcy exists for a reason. It exists to allow people to get a fresh financial start when the only alternative would be to just live under debt for the rest of your life with the interest piling up with no hope of ever repaying it. And that's not going to benefit the creditors. They're never going to get paid anyway. And it just makes people, frankly, suicidal. I mean, it makes people feel like they have no hope. And I have, met many suicidal people over the years in my practice doing consultations. And I can tell you that getting that fresh financial start is a real relief to people. And so there is a real spiritual, moral component to it. There's forgiveness going on there and a fresh start. And people oftentimes do feel very strange about it. But I'll tell you, it's much more sad to see people servicing debt at 20-30% interest for their entire working life, working 2 jobs, and they still never get ahead. They still never pay off the principal. They get to the end of their working years, they're 60, 65 years old, and they have no savings, and their debt is even bigger than it was when they began, and so they end up filing bankruptcy anyway. And it would have been so much better if they had just filed bankruptcy 10 years earlier and then saved for their retirement, and it would have been a better outcome for everyone. And so those are the things I think to consider.